The Boy Wonder issue 5, Juni on both writing and art. This is the final issue of this Black Label book. This has been building up to a confrontation with Damien and Ra's al Ghul, but maybe more specifically, this idea that Damien is trusting of his family around him to also help. So the other Robins and Batgirl are here. They're helping. In fact, Batman even shows up. In fact, that I was thinking about it. Like we probably saw a couple of panels of Batman when like some of the backstory has been explained. But I think this is the first time Batman's actually appeared like as a character in like a current scene in this book.
Yeah, because I remember him showing up in the Dick Grayson issue where he was talking about the first Robin.
Yeah.
But it was more as Bruce than as Batman. And I feel like this is the first time Batman has really had like a speaking role, because we would see him, you know, in Jason's story looking disappointed in Red Hood, or he was referred to in the Tim part of the story. But here he's a full-on character, and it was kind of like a fist pump when he does show up to support his sons.
Yeah, you know, so there's some backstory kind of just reiterated with Ra's al Ghul about his like time throughout the centuries, his goals, and kind of even. I love this idea that he thinks that he's proving that he doesn't have hubris because he's willing to have an heir, because he's accepting that he's an old man in the inside.
God, I love Ra's. He's one of my favorite Bat villains for this.
But yeah, we get this fight between Ra's and Damien as the other Robins and Batgirl are helping out the victims that have been put in those big sort of sarcophagus things that Ra's was doing. And of course, Batman shows up in a glorious 2-page spread, looking very bulky and very short almost even.
He's compact. He's kind of built like Pac. Another wrestling reference here today. But yes, if you know, you know. He's a very wide, compact man, and that's how Batman feels here.
Yeah, so we get a whole thing. Raz is infuriated that like Damien, Talia, and Batman are all against them. They've all rejected his ways, and they're taking him on. And the narration, which is all in third person, is whoever's telling the story to the criminal that we've been, you know, having throughout the book. So it's all kind of from this, you know, analytical perspective, where the narrator is sort of saying, oh, this is the moment Raz realized that he couldn't win. This is the moment Raz realized whatever. But yeah, the fighting goes on with not a lot of dialogue for several pages as Batman and Raz fight. Damien's jumping in. There's a great little moment where Raz like sort of like catches the katana that Damien's got, snaps it, and then stabs. Is it Talia in the arm?
Yeah. Stabs Talia through. She goes to block, but it goes through. Yeah. Also, when he calls Bruce detective, right? We haven't gotten a lot of Bruce and Ra's in recent history, right?
No.
It's been mostly Damien and Ra's. So here it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's notable as well because it's like there's like 5 pages with not a word of dialogue. Right now, it's even more than that without dialogue, but even without narration, it's been like 5 pages. And then just one bubble at the end of that page and a close-up of Raz saying, detective. Like, so it has a lot of impact when it comes in.
Yeah.
It's been silent for so long. But yeah, the fight carries on, and ultimately we get this great big moment, this really good sequential art, where Damien comes up behind Raz, he's in shadow, and then you get this really stylized kind of expression of him like palming him on the chest, and then just infinite white in the background as Raz flies through the air, and Damien's got his palm out in sort of the, you know, the pose, and Raz goes into the Lazarus pit, which won't heal him this time because, as we've been talking about, the pit's started to turn against him, and the resin's not doing what it's supposed to. So he actually comes out as an old man who seems to have some kind of dementia. He's asking, you know, who they are, and Batman kind of wants to take him in, but Talia's like, no, he's old and he's harmless now. Leave him be. He can't answer for the crimes he did because he's not really there anymore. And yeah, so yeah, like Talia takes Raz along with whoever else from the League and disappears.
Through Rock, which I'm like, they've been dealing with a legitimate demon type creature here, because he opens up the coat, right?
Yeah, and then disappears with them all.
Yeah, and teleports out. Like, it was a really cool image too.
Yeah, you know, meanwhile, Nightwing, Babs, the other Robins, like get all the victims that were kidnapped and get them there. But Damien makes this whole speech to Batman, like, I thought I had to like be amazing as being Robin to like live up to your ideas, but then I realized that Robin can do things that Batman can't. I think it was also earlier in the issue where the narrator mentions that Damien kind of realized that he thought he was fighting to justify being a Robin, but comes to the idea that, oh no, the people who had this mantle wanted me to have it. I don't have to earn it. They gave it to me. Now I can, go on from there. But of course, when Batman hears this, he says he's proud and whatever. So the reveal of what's actually going on in the present day with the kid telling the story in the Robin outfit, we were theorizing, oh, is this someone's son in the future? Is this whatever?
Yeah.
It's not in the future. I mean, it's a little bit in the future compared to the rest of the story, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not some distant future where someone's got a kid or anything like that.
I had figured we'd see, the trench coat Damian Batman version that we've seen in like Batman 666, right? That's kind of the go-to version of Damian Batman that we get to. So to see that this is not that much forward in the future and the reveal of whose child this is, I was like, oh, okay, this was a nice build to the reveal.
Yeah, so basically it turns out Damien has started an initiative where he's recruited mostly kids, but he even recruits this criminal and says, hey, you can make a difference. Here's an R. Put it on. Slap the Robin badge on. And we see that it's like a thing where they help consult people. They help with food for the homeless. It's basically kind of like almost like what Nightwing did in Bloodhaven and Tom Taylor's run, but in a much more kind of like
social work type way. It's like mutual aid.
Yeah, but it's more of like a volunteer kind of thing where everyone just kind of signs up and becomes a Robin for Gotham kind of thing. So, yeah, at the end, the Robins and the Batgirl, just the one Batgirl. I guess this book's got too many characters to juggle to worry about adding in Steph and Cass. But
so the daughter, the Robin that's telling the story of the prince and all this, turns out to be the daughter, right?
Yeah, of the criminal from earlier in the book.
Of the criminal that Damien chopped off his head. And so, it's this whole big, nice redemption type thing, even for Damien, that, he's going to use Robin. And it's almost kind of the whole point of that, We Are Robin, that introduced Duke into the kind of the Bat family after Damien had left. So it's all about redemption, that even this criminal, even though he kidnapped this kid and whatever, that as long as you want to do good, we'll see the good in you. And I feel like that was the entire mission statement of this book so far, right? Was to show this is the type of person Damien wants to be, that he's choosing to be good, and choosing the Bat versus choosing the demon. So I like how this finished up.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's not even so far. It's just the end of the book. This is the point. That we're here.
Yeah.
It's an interesting ending because I don't think what he actually is doing in the present day part here at the end was something that anyone was probably going to predict. Like, the whole idea of it really wasn't introduced until this issue. Yeah. But it does work. It does feel like the idea that Robin is a concept, and the idea that Robin can do things that Batman can, such as go and give advice, go and do this, go do that, is a really interesting concept of, Damien as a character, not just in this book, but in general, is so focused on living up to the idea of being the heir to the Bat or the heir to the demon. It is actually kind of nice to get a story where the whole point of it is that he realizes that he can do things that they can't because he's different from them. He can do things that only Robin, or in some cases only Damian Wayne, can do. And so it's a bit of a coming of age story, I guess, in that sense, if you want to look at it that way. So yeah, no, and obviously the art is similar to what it's been. It's very good, and it's it's very stylized in its own way. It has strengths and weaknesses, but the strengths, the sequential nature to the fights and the combat is very good. And then some of the big money shots. So that final page, that full page spread of like the Robins and Batgirl all swinging through the city with the bat signal in the background. Is a very nice image. So, yeah. No, it's been a great Black. It's a very different Black Label book to a lot of the other ones.
It does kind of feel like Juni Boggs going through Damien's story and picking the things that You know, not like a greatest hits per se, but we get the entire Damien arc in 5 issues.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's taken us years to get, and he does it in a very concise way, and it works through that story of Roz and all of that other stuff.
It's why, even though this won't link up with continuity, because Ra's al Ghul's obviously still around and whatnot,
Right.
but it's why a book like this is very good to give to a new person. I mean, not a completely new comic book reader, but someone who's just like, hey, I want to know more about Damien. Like you said, this kind of condenses the idea of what Damien's went through in 20 years in 5 issues. You know, not exactly beat for beat, but the overall sense of like how he's changed and how he's more of a shitty little hero now than he was when he first showed up. And the idea that he's grown, you get it's like a good primer, so that if you do jump into reading the rest of the comics right now, you've got a good idea of like personality wise, ethically, where Damien's sitting. And you know, so it's these are the type of books that are really easy to recommend to like readers who want to get into a new character or like get a good sense of who someone is. In the same way that you'd recommend, you know, year 1 for Batman, followed by maybe a Long Halloween and 1 or 2 other books, or you'd recommend, you know, pick another character. You know,
like for all seasons for Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like, this is Damien now has his one of those that isn't exactly in continuity, but it's close enough that you can get a good sense of like who the character is and whatnot. So, I'd
like to see Juni Ba do this with other characters. I don't have any other ideas, but I think in a similar format.
Sure.
I feel like with all the different legacy, like imagine like a Bart Allen version of this, you know, as he's trying to figure out where he is in the Flash family. You know, I would, you know, definitely be down for that.
All right, what are you giving Boy Wonder issue 5?
Oh, I'm gonna give this 8.5.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I don't think I can say anything else.